run, two, come, let's go. I said 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 run, two, come, let's go.
If you go buy a car that they report to the credit agency and you paying that bill on time, they gonna start sending you credit cards like, he got good credit. Here, give us some of that debt. We want you to get in debt with us. And some people fall for it, some people don't. You know, but as you get older, it's important to have credit, because to buy furniture, you need credit. You get a house, you need credit. I'm saying like big $10,000 worth of furniture, not just, $1,000 or $2,000. If you want to start a business, you're gonna need some good credit. Go ahead.
I think you need to rebuild your credit.
Rebuilding your credit. Now, I'm gonna go back to what he was saying. Anything that's 7 years or over, you ain't gotta worry about that stuff. That stuff is off your credit report. The people that's calling, see, this is what happens. If the people they sold this debt to call you and you admit that you want to pay this debt back off, that's when it's back on. Because they record the phone call. You say, yeah, I want to go ahead and pay that off. And then they read that disclaimer. So basically you're saying you're going to be obligated to this debt, this amount. That's when they got you. That's when they're going to start throwing it back on your credit report. You know what I'm saying? But anything over 7 years or older, don't even worry about that. It's gone. Except for student loans, they don't go nowhere. I got you. That's over with. But to rebuild your credit, like I said before, just go to like these little furniture stores like Value City, Aaron's. They'll have it on the window, help you build credit. And you could just say, you could go buy something bogus. Like, I want to buy this picture. How much is this picture? This picture is $150. And just say you want to give it to your mom, but your whole goal is to establish some credit. Just say, okay, I want to buy this picture, but I want to apply for credit for that. They'll give you that on the strength. They say, okay, we're going to give you 12 months to pay this off. Just give us, $20 down? You know what I'm saying? They go to 20, and you make your monthly payments. As long as they're reporting it to the credit bureau, they don't care the amount, you making monthly payments, your credit score go up. And when it's paid off, it really go up. So, you had your hand up?
Yeah, what about you move that up in the apartment from the same for 7 years, the same thing?
In 7 years, it's over. It actually, your credit report, it goes off. They ain't allowed to keep that stuff on there. It's off. Has it been 7 years? I wouldn't even worry about it. It's over with. Now, I will say, did you get an eviction?
Yeah.
If it's an eviction, then that's going to be registered with the county. That's different. That's registered with the courts. So if you're trying to go get another apartment, they could check the county records to see if you had an eviction or not. That's different from credit. Go ahead.
You said on school loan because you can't do that. Can you get them consolidated?
You can consolidate school loans. I mean, and really keeping it real, the best way to do school loans, you can keep it in deferments, but then you can consolidate with this company, and if you can't pay them, basically keep going to deferment like I can't pay, ain't working, can't pay, and then try to move it over here. If you can't pay it, just got to keep moving them around. But them don't go nowhere. They take your tax return, all that.
Yeah, buddy.
They ain't taking it. And if you want to do it that way, so be it. Just work, let them take the tax return. But they gonna get their money. And you can't file bankruptcy on tax return. On student loans either. Credit cards and cars and all that crap, you can file bankruptcy on. There's two types of bankruptcies. It's Chapter 13 and Chapter 7. Them the main ones. Chapter 13, you got to make the monthly pay. You got to pay that money back. So if you owe $10,000 and you file Chapter 13, that just means the people can't come and take your stuff or garnish your wages because you agreed to make monthly payments to pay this certain amount back. Chapter 7 is over. Say, I can't pay nothing. The bad part about chapter 7, though, is whatever type of assets you got, they can come take them. Like, they get your cars. They check your valuables. Like, if you got flat screens everywhere. Jewelry. I ain't got no jewelry. What you talking about? Because they have you actually make a list of your assets. Of what you got. It's like a lawyer. And sometimes they do, sometimes they trust you just to make this list. But I know in some cases they actually came and checked. Because like I had a buddy, this was recent. He had this dog that got loose because the guy that was cutting his grass, he left the gate open. He had an Akita. And this little girl she used to tease the Akita through the fence. Well, one day she come to tease him, but the gate was open. And he tore her up, man. Her whole half of her face was like bit off, like hanging. So they sued him for $100,000. And he kept having to go to court. But he wound up filing bankruptcy. The lawyer said he just filed bankruptcy after he milked him a little bit. He did. He told him he filed bankruptcy. He said, you filed bankruptcy, they can't come after you for 8 years. So basically, he filed bankruptcy, and they couldn't get a dime. But what they did was they took how much money he made. They see what type of assets he had. They actually came to his house and saw what he had. And, he had, get rid of some stuff. Put his cars in his sister's name, daughter's name, and all that other crazy stuff. And then at the end of the day, he wound up paying the lawyer like 5 stacks. He only had to pay like $2,000 out of the 100. Like, he was like, that's all I got. I can't do nothing. Take it or leave it. Basically, they took the $2,000, case over with. I hate this for the little girl, but I'm just telling you how it go. Somebody had their hand up. Go ahead.
Spike told me that you got past that, try to file bankruptcy. Is it true that you got to go from under the debt consolidation company first?
No. You don't have to do a debt consolidation. Debt consolidation is putting all your bills you owe together, paying it back. Basically, if you want to file bankruptcy, you just say, I can't pay these bills. Here are the list of the bills I can't pay. And I just want to file bankruptcy on them all. You'll be surprised, believe it or not, prominent, even rich people file bankruptcy, to get out from under a whole lot of debt. I'm quite sure. How old are you? Yeah.
45.
Have you worked around any people that own small companies and then they folded or changed names?
Yeah.
A lot of times those companies file bankruptcy because they can't pay the debt that they got, or the money ain't coming in, so they file bankruptcy. Keep the company going, because now they slate wipe clean. They just change the name of the company, or they shut the company down and say, I'm starting another company, a brand new company under this name. So they don't got to pay this back, but they start a new company, so they change the name, but they be in the same building, using the same equipment and everything. It's crazy. But bankruptcy ain't necessarily bad. They got you the mentality that it's bad. You'd be surprised. Bankruptcy wipes your slate clean. Now you ain't got no credit. Basically, you starting over again. So what happens is people gonna start wanting to give you credit, so you can start paying them money. They're just gonna find out if you're working or not, or if you got a way to pay it back.
You know that 10 stacks worth of debt, file bankruptcy?
I'm gonna put it to you like this: is $10,000 a lot of money to you? Then I won't file bankruptcy. I will pay it back.
They build your credit back up by putting it in the one and paying them back?
Yep.
Will bankruptcy show up on your thing?
Every line say bankruptcy. For sometimes it's 3 years, sometimes it's 5 years. It depends on the time length that you when you go to court. However, some people could file bankruptcy to say it for 7 years, some for 5 years. If you have a house and you can't pay your mortgage, that's called a foreclosure. A foreclosure stay on your credit 7 years, and you can't buy another house till that foreclosure is off your credit.
Remember last week we was talking about PYE had to die.
He filed bankruptcy on his company. That's why it went from no limit to the new no limit. Same company, same people, same rappers. It's new no limit because, old limit shut down. But we still gonna get all the royalties and stuff because that's, if you notice, anybody ever read a contract or a rap contract? If you read a rap contract, if you notice, it's companies on there, but then there's also individuals on there. Even if the company filed bankruptcy, the individual rapper and writer still get their money because they separate from the company. The reason, I'm going to explain something to you that rich people do to protect their assets. I'm going to kind of go slow a little bit to get you to understand. You can actually become a company. Like I got a company, Adjonesent Enterprises, okay? Adjonesent Enterprises, being registered, basically say we sell books. I've been selling books since 1995. You know what I'm saying? 1995. I filed my taxes to selling books. If I go buy a boat in Adjonesent Enterprises' name, a Benz in Adjonesent Enterprises' name, a house in my company name, you could get a debit or a credit card with my company name or your company name on it. Go buy some jewelry in the company name, right? Wear the jewelry, take a picture or wear the jewelry as a rapper, or you going to speak at an engagement. This is an expense. I'm writing off this jewelry that I bought. Teaching y'all some game right now. There's 2 stacks I spent on this chain. I'm writing it off on my taxes because it was an expense. I want to look good while I'm speaking, right? The suit or the hookup, the Coogee or whatever, rocker wear hookup I bought. It's going on that card. Company name. I needed that for this engagement. I'm writing that off. Oh, I'm hungry, like you said. Under the credit card. I need a cell phone to communicate, right? Guess what? I'm writing that off too. I want a whip. I need some 22s. 20s are better as a must. So guess what? I need that because I need to get around to my engagements. Writing that off. You take out a girl, you take her out on a hot date, right? I'm selling books. You like to read books? You like to read books? Oh, that's a business expense now. I write books, boom. And I put it in a pile. And on your receipt, you just mark what it is. Meeting engagement with potential client. Give it to your accountant or your bookkeeper. See, I'm actually putting all this stuff together for y'all, but it's a lot of game that y'all ain't using, especially for y'all that got some money that you could be using. Your money will come right back to you, but you have to have legitimate employment or legitimate self-employment, which means you file a tax return every year. You don't have to make $100,000. You can make $5,000. You can make $2,500 in a year. You ain't have a good year. You allowed to take a loss up to 3 years before the IRS start flagging you. That 4th year, you better not take a loss. You know what I'm saying? Don't take a loss for 4 years. Another thing, I'm gonna go slow on this one. Who know the difference between an asset and a liability? An asset is something that's going to make you money. Okay? Or it's worth some money. Y'all got that? That's why y'all need this pen and paper. A liability is something that's going to cost you money. The female that you with, is she an asset or liability? Depend on your female. Depend on your female. You You see what I'm saying? If she a liability, why is she around?
Right.
I mean, that's real talk. If she an asset, helping you get in school, helping you bust some moves, helping you fill out applications, helping you do stuff you can't do, that's an asset. If she bitching and moaning and complaining and costing you money every time you look around, I ain't talking about your kids, I'm talking about her. For not thinking or whatever, that's a liability. Companies want as little liability as possible. Right? You want as many assets around as possible. Why do you want as many assets around as possible? So you could make as much as you want, or you could be worth more. Now, this gonna get a little heavy, and this I'm teaching y'all college stuff now. I might have to stand up on this. Say I get a laptop computer, right? Is that an asset or a liability? It's an asset. Why is it an asset if I'm writing books?
Because you can sell your stuff on.
Right. That's how I do my work. Let's say I pay $1,000 for this laptop, right? Okay. I bought it, right? It's an asset. I also wrote it off as an expense, right? Because I had to have it. Up to 3 years, it's 3 years, all the way up to 7 years, I can also depreciate the value of the asset. Which means it was worth $1,000 in 2010, right? But in 2011, is it going to still be worth a stack? No, because there's new models that come out. So guess what? It ain't that much of an asset no more. Now everybody getting them for $800. So I'm writing off $200 more on my taxes because it went down in value. It's a little heavy right now. Double depreciation. The third year, it even lose more value because now that ain't only worth $400, right? But I already marked off $200, right? So now I mark off the difference between $400 minus the $200. So I'm marking that off. So you could continue to depreciate money on stuff you already bought that's an asset. The reason why that's important, let's say you make $100,000, right? If you ain't got no write-offs, taxing you. They tax you to death. You at the highest tax bracket, almost highest tax bracket possible. So the government gonna take 43%. But if you got write-offs, which is the expense for buying it, right? And a depreciation that brings my income down. The lower the income, the lower the taxes. You get it? The lower the income, the lower the taxes. Which means that's why P. Diddy ride around in Bentleys and wearing them big stupid chains. That's why he has to buy a $3,000 suit or $5,000 suit. Because if he don't, they just gonna tax it. They're gonna take it. So instead of letting them take it, you might as well spend it and write it off. That's why P. Diddy got people coming in his office giving him pedicures. That's why he wouldn't mind giving you a job for $100,000 a year, just shifting papers. Because guess what?
You write that off.
You write it off, but you helping him keep his business in line and make more money. You are an asset to him. Now, if you're paying you $100,000 and you ain't doing your job or you stealing information, now you're a liability. You got to go. You want a record deal. The best time to get a record deal is January, February, March. That's the first quarter. It's 4 quarters in a year, just like it's 4 quarters in a dollar. 3 months apiece. January, February, March, you're on the rest. 3, 6, 9, 12 months. The reason why you want to shop for your record deal in January, February, and March is because now they got their budget. They got all this money they gotta spend by December 31st. They assign you just to see what you're gonna do, because guess what? They got $5 million they gotta spend on you. Or $4 million they got to spend on you. When I give y'all an example, when I went out to California, I don't even know if I told you this or not. I went out to California when I was doing music and stuff, and we had a meeting with DreamWorks Records. And they was gonna give us a $5 million deal. The girl I was with, the partner with, she was a songwriter. She was already making a bunch of money. She was making like $50,000 a song to write. So, but I was producing. So basically, we came together, got some artists together. I had my CD and stuff, and they wanted to give us a deal. Stupid her, she was going through a divorce, a bad situation, dude playing on and all this and that. They said we need to get out there within a month. Now that's December, right? She's so emotionally distraught, and I couldn't do nothing without her because we signed this contract that I can't make no deals without her signature. So we going through December, and I keep telling her we got to get out here, we got to get out here. When her stuff finally, her divorce finally went through or whatever, because she didn't want to get a deal that he get that money in a divorce. So it was January. We get out there. We meet with them. We talk good with them. We went to Priority Records. We went to Capitol Records. We hit all the record companies out there. And you'll be surprised if you just know a few names. You can get in their office because we did our research. And there's books out there you could get to drop. Just drop some names. And I have to say that game though, for real, because it took a lot. But anyway. We met with the dude, it was cool. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be surprised, DreamWorks Records or DreamWorks Movie Studios, you would think it was just a regular abandoned, not abandoned, it was just like a regular warehouse. But when you go through these gates, it's like a gate. When you go through these gates and go in these buildings and going behind these buildings, it's crazy. It's crazy. But we had a good meeting and everything. Came back home. Dude ain't called us for about a week. I'm like, dang, is it over? He finally called. He said, I got some good news and I got some bad news. Okay, what is that? He said the good news is we liked everything you presented and we wanted to give you a deal. He put the ED on the end. He said the bad news is you're too late. He said the $5 million we have for y'all, we gave it to somebody else because we had to. He said we had to. Even though she had a track record selling them songs, even though they liked what we had, because we had sent them like 3 different groups, but we had 7 total, it was over. It was too late. It wasn't nothing they could do. And we was like, well, what about the roster for this year coming up? He was like, when they actually got those artists, it was like a 3-year plan for them artists that they liked. So basically we was out of luck. And I wound up
5 M's y'all missed out on.
5 million. Then I'm gonna tell you another part about it. I'm gonna tell you another part. Yeah, who in here old enough to remember Elektra Records? Remember when the first cell phones first came out, the Nokias, the fat ones, with the thick antenna. You don't even gotta have an antenna nowadays, with the thick antenna. I was where I live, doing whatever, having fun, whatever. But I'm on a block, and my phone rings, and I'm like, hello? It was an out-of-town number. I picked it up, and it was the head A&R for Elektra Records. He called me. He said, we like your stuff. We understand that you had a situation with DreamWorks Records that didn't work out. Because, all them people talk. And we submitted stuff to different people. He said, we interested. I'm on the block happy. I'm going off to the side so can't nobody here. And I was like, well, do you need us to come out there? He was like, yeah. What I'm going to do, in 2 weeks, I'm going to call you back. And we're going to set up a meeting. Why the dude get downsized? Remember when Elektra Records got bought out? I don't even remember. That's when they disappeared. Elektra Records basically went out of business. Another company bought them and bought all their artists and got rid of dude. It was over for us.
2 weeks.
Saudi. That ain't the end. There's other little stories I could tell y'all. But was salty. Did I want to quit? Yeah, but I ain't quit. But the key is, how did I get on that?
Act fast, man. That's the moral of the story is act fast.
Opportunity. But see, the thing is, I don't know how I got on that, but the thing is, what I learned from that is you can't put all your eggs in one basket and you got to keep it moving. You got to keep it moving. How the heck did I get on that? Establishing credit?
About credit and foreclosures, and then you just start talking about records, man.
Oh, quarters. Yeah, quarters. I got on that from the quarters. It's 4 quarters in a year. You got to file your taxes quarterly, or you can file them twice a year or yearly. You know what I'm saying? I personally like to file mine twice a year because you could accumulate more stuff and write more stuff off, twice a year. So that's the thing about business. If you got some money or not, and you want to take advantage of the, I ain't gonna say take advantage, use the system for what it is, go get a vendor's license. The difference between a vendor's license and a peller's license. Vendor's license costs $25. You have an actual address to where your business is. It could be a house or a P.O. box.
Well, what you vending? You gotta say that.
I sell shoestrings.
Yeah.
I sell combs.
Like Bob walk around with mad CDs.
You don't want to tell them CDs though, because that's illegal. Unless it's your own CDs.
Right.
You sell T-shirts. You sell shoes. You sell whatever. Just get a vendor's license and pay your taxes on however much money you make. However you make it. Whenever you make it. I done told y'all the story when the police ran up on me back in the day and they pulled money out of this pocket, money out of this pocket. I ain't know how much it was. And I had my credit card, that $25 credit card I told you about, that credit card, my driver's license, and my business license on me. He said, how much money is this? How much money is this? I just looked at it. I said, sir, there go my driver's license, my credit card, and my business license. I have a business. He looked at me. He had a rookie with him. He looked at me. He said, but how much money is it? I just looked at it. I don't have to answer that question. If I tell you it's this amount and it ain't, you can take it.
Right. Coca-Cola play me like that, huh?
Yeah.
He already know.
You say the wrong amount, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
I ain't say nothing. I just look at it. I say, you can run my name through. He ran my name through, no warrants, no none of that. He couldn't take me. He checked my hands and all this stuff. He checked everything. Yeah. Checked the ID on the valid. It's a valid credit card. My name on there. You know what I'm saying? Looked at my vendor's license. Saw how long I had been in business. It had been some years by then. Ran me through, gave me a trespassing warning. I say, how I get a trespassing warning and my mom stay right here? I say, this is my mom's house. Well, you ain't on the lease. I say, that's my mama. He just looked at, well, here go a warning. Because I done went to court on that. He took my money. I was still handcuffed. He took my money, put it back in my pockets, took my driver's license, the ID and stuff, put it back in my back pocket, unclinked me, and say, have a good day. I don't want to see you down here no more. Whatever. But if you're going to be out on the street, you got to know the game. You got to know their game and your game. Why don't you know the officers' names that's patrolling the neighborhood? If you ain't got no warrants or nothing, you can actually go to District 1 and find out who's on duty. Did you know that? You could get to, who's on duty at this time. Period. You can do that legally. You can do that to know who on.
We don't know that from being out there.
But I'm saying though.
Right.
I'm just saying. A lot of people don't even think like that.
Right.
Some of y'all don't even know y'all's rights. Why you on the street? I ain't talking about the normal. You got the right to remain silent. I'm talking about your rights.
Right.
Stuff they can and cannot do. I know a dude. He got caught with 16 dimes. This is when we used to dime them up. With 16 dimes of weed. And the reason why he got caught is because I had did something. What happened was they wound up throwing my case out because they was looking for a BB gun, right? I gave them the slingshot, and they didn't find a BB gun. So we both beat our cases on. They ain't had no reason to even search you. So if you showing them, you just got to do some studying and know what your rights are and are not. If you ain't got no felony, it's guys I know they ain't got felonies that carry guns. Why don't you just go get a conceal and carry? That way you can carry 5 guns if you want to, 25 of them if you want to. But now you having a felony, you need to know your rights. You can carry weapons, but I can't tell you what kind to hear. But you got to figure that out on your own.
Life, some mace, a taser.
Man, you can walk around.
You can get a shotgun.
You could. I'm gonna let y'all do the research.
Right.
I can't tell you everything.
Right. Winchester.
You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all. Well, I'm gonna let y'all. I gotta let y'all find some things out of your own.
Where we find this out there? Can't tell you get
Internet. I mean, it's that simple. For real. Ask questions. Call the police station. Ask them. I don't know why y'all be scared to call the police station to ask them questions. I'm for real. Call them and ask them questions. They will tell you a citizen. Just because you a felon don't mean you ain't a citizen. You excommunicating yourself.
You know, we be stuck in the box though. Like,
That's the problem.
so I want nothing to do with it.
But that's the problem. If you a felon, you should want to know everything about the boys. You should know what they know, right? Especially if you're going to continue to do what you do. You should know who on shift, what patrol, is they on foot patrol, bike patrol. You see what I'm saying?
That's smart right there.
I'm just saying, like, come on. You set the limits. It's like you said, you putting yourself in a box, and it's like you don't see yourself out of that box. You gotta start seeing yourself outside of the box. So it's other legal things that you can do, even though you got a felony. Anybody ever been to Staples? If you go to Staples, they sell receipt books. As long as you keep an accurate account of your receipts and take that to the people, your accountant, you cool. But you could put you could put whatever in there, but $100 a day could go in your bank account for selling t-shirts with your business. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For real. Then with that same $100, give y'all some game. In a month, how much is that? 3 stacks. I want to get a loan from that bank with the 3 stacks in it. I want to give you $500 for a secure credit card to establish credit. Right? You take that to buy stuff, pay it off. You build your credit. It's things that you can do to get yourself out of the situation where you are. But you just got to know how to do them. You can use the hood to get you out of the hood. I ain't saying the hood bad, but hood living and hood thinking as a grown man is bad.
Like, that be the thing, like, we don't got nobody to teach us that and show us all that. Like, you they want to study, show us how to pull this man up because his shirt untucked, right? You feel me? Like that, like, she something that's going to actually help me, because we worried about this man's shirt being untucked. It's not going to help me when I get outside these doors.
That's true.
It's not.
I mean, that's definitely the truth.
And if you feel like you won't, and then they wonder why they got caseloads full of people that keep coming back or keep going back to jail. Y'all ain't doing shit but wasting taxpayers' money.
Right.
On nothing, because you want us to pull this man up in his feet in the chair or something, like, or he slouched down in the seat. Leave that man alone. If he feel like that, let him do that. But I'm trying to get out of here and get some money so I can get married and plant me a seed. Like.
Right. I feel that.
Sometimes, man, we got guys that come pull our coattails for that type of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? But in terms
basically what y'all saying is some of the stuff I'm telling y'all today is what y'all need. Wake him up. You sleep, man? Okay.
Yeah, we need a lot of that. Like, you feel me? Like, I don't know about these guys, but my dad wasn't around.
Implemented in our program though, this supposed to be, you know what I mean, a program like that. They need to have some, you know, it ain't no type of business class, it ain't no type of nothing.
Or what about
They telling us what they want us to do, but they ain't showing us, you know what I mean?
Or what about when you get out, it's a place that you can go and get this type of information?
Yeah. They don't tell us that though. They don't tell us that. Feel me? They don't show us where them classes that we can go take for this and what classes we can go take for that. All they do is let us get our little fake treatment for 8 weeks, get our itinerary, and go fill out jobs at McDonald's and Frisch's and Rallies and
wait for them to call you to say if they gonna let you work or not.
Yeah, I ain't trying to work at no Frisch's or no Rallies.
So basically what y'all need is this information, but y'all need a path.
Right.
Like,
if you show me to the light, I'm gonna follow it. Like, I don't even you ain't gotta tell me everything, just tell me enough so that I catch on fast and I'm up out of there. You'll see the results in the water. You will see the results in my work that I put in, because I'm gonna put in work, like, because I'm a dedicated guy. Like, I was dedicated to that block, I can dedicate myself to work. Like,
I already been doing this. Like I told you, I got the website that I'm putting together for stuff like this called saytheblackman.com. And then I got one for saytheblackwoman.com. Not that I don't care about Caucasian men and women, but I only can relate growing up being black, you know what I'm saying? But the message, what I'm saying, is universal. You see what I'm saying? It's just coming from a black male perspective. I'm talking to the Caucasian guys in here. You see what I'm saying?
So teach a guy how to be a man. Like, you teach me how to be a man. Like, you want me to change my life?
I'm going.
I will be stuck on that same and whatever. Like, I ain't trying to do that.
My 4-year college degree to me was a scam. The reason why is because I had already read the books and learned what I needed to learn before I was even in school. But I quote unquote wanted to get this piece of paper so that they could say, okay, you can make this certain amount of money, when I was already making more money than what they was trying to pay me with that degree. So it's perception. At the end of the day, it's about how much money you got. You could be a PhD making $10,000 a year, or somebody working at AK Steel making $60,000 a year. Who would you rather be? AK Steel, 60 stacks. So the little degrees and all that crap, that really don't mean much if it ain't gonna help you make no money. I got you. Help you get something, a trade, or get something that can make you some money. That's the key. Get some knowledge. You don't even got to have no certificate or degree if you know how to make some money. I'm going to tell you some guaranteed money is mechanic. If you want to make some money, go to school to be a mechanic, an ASC certified mechanic. Transmissions, brakes, engines, whatever. As a mechanic, you gonna make some money. Period. You could be a hood mechanic. If you certified, you gonna get all the business because you gonna know what you're doing. Everybody gonna send everybody to you. You gonna have money out the wazoo. And you got your business license. Do they see how much, and you strictly cash, do they see how much cash go in your hand? You see what I'm saying? You did this engine job for $800, $200, whatever. I'm just saying, that's what happens. You did a tune-up, whatever. I'm just saying, it's ways to work the system. Am I saying be dishonest? No. Am I saying work the system? That's what I'm saying. But you got to know how to work the system to work the system.
We don't know. We need that information. You feel me?
I got you.
They ain't trying to lead that. They ain't trying to lead us to that information. They want us to be dumb out here for real life.
You know why? I went through this before. I got to get ready to go. I went through this before. If none of y'all don't come back,
They ain't got no job.
They don't got no work.
they ain't got no work. None of y'all did no robberies, none of y'all sold no dope. If everybody in here just went to work, ain't on the block. What happens to the police force? It shrink. Probation officers, we ain't got no work. Judges, you know what I'm saying? Prosecutors, y'all keeping them in business. They cranking. Judges make 80 stacks to give you your time, to talk to you like a dog, to determine your life. They're going to pay him to determine your life. Public pretenders, some of them good. I say out of 100, you might get 15 that's good. Some that's decent, out of 100, 25. The rest, they working for the state. They getting their money anyway. Just sign this paper, please. We're going to go cop this plea. You know what I'm saying? They want to give you 2 years. You going to take it or leave it? No. Well, if you know you go to court, they're going to max you out. Tell them I'll do a year and a half. I tell them I'll do a year. Come back. Well, he said you can do 12 months plus 2 years probation. What in the world? That's your life. Look, that's your life. That's your life.
They say they get like 450 to 500 every time you come.
Each. Wow. How many of them do you want a day? How many of them do they want a day? I mean, for real. If you got a roster, think about it. Poor people cannot afford attorneys, right? So I'm gonna do some research and bring the numbers in here for y'all. I might do that next week. Poor people can't afford attorneys. Poor people can't really finagle the law, right? Like OJ and all them other guys did. So basically, you subject of what they give you, or depending on your public pretender, what they can work up, because they halfway know the law. They don't even really know the laws like that. The judge and the prosecutor really telling them, well, he got a felony 3, which actually he can do 4 years on that or whatever. But then he got a felony 2, we could give him 8 years on that. So we can actually give him 10 years. But I tell you what, have him take 7. See what he say. That's what happens. Then you shaking. First thing he say, you know you facing up to 10 years on this, but they offered you 7. Nope, you go back to the judge, he ain't going. I tell you what, 5 years, come back. I can't do 5 years, man. I can't do 5 years. I don't know if the judge is going to say the prosecutor's not budging. Go back. He ain't going. They just want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Trials hold up court space. Trials hold the money up. Trials take weeks and continuances. They don't want that. They want you processed, sentenced, and gone.
Yeah, they say only like 2% of all court cases go to trial in the country.
That's right. They want you prosecuted, in, and gone. So they come back. Now remember, keep in mind you was facing 10. I tell you what, the judge say this is the last offer, 3 years. You jumping on that because you thinking about the dime. Yeah, give me 3 years, no probation, no nothing when I get it. No, you're going to get PRC. You're going to get that. Yeah, we going because we want you to come back. So next thing you know, bam, there you go, wop, take the 3 years. He get his money for you copping out. You see what I'm saying? The judge getting his salary, the prosecutor getting his salary. But then when you in the JC, they getting money, right? But then when they ship you off and get that number, they getting money. It's crazy, man. It's just y'all making the money.
You wasting time.
Hey, remember I talked about assets and liabilities, right? What